Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I wanted to talk about Dead City. I do want to get into some stuff with the Rick and Michonne show as well. But I really wanted to talk about what Lauren Cohan had to say because she did an interview today with New York Post, and I'll leave a link down below to the article. There was an interesting part here that I saw from the article actually that was really, really quite interesting, and honestly kind of gives us a lot. I mean, that doesn't kind of, it really does give us a lot of insight into sort of what's happening with the spin-offs. Like honestly, like this is like the first indication that we have at all that they want to go for multiple seasons, that this really is like the second phase of The Walking Dead, and they want to keep these shows going on for years to come. So before we go any further, obviously make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. And if you haven't followed me on Twitch yet, definitely go do so. The channel name is Appetite for the Dead. By the time this video goes live, I should actually be live on Twitch, and I'm going to be reacting to the PlayStation event. So I hope to see you guys there. I'm actually really excited for the PlayStation event because I do think there's going to be some really awesome news there in terms of like Spider-Man 2 and some other remakes that could be announced. I know a lot of people are really holding out hope for Bloodborne 2. I'm not really holding out hope for that just because, I mean, I've been excited for that for years, but it's just never come yet. So yeah, I hope to see you guys there. I'll be live there, and like, I mean, I might already be live by the time this video comes out. I likely am. So, but to get into what Lauren Cohan had to say here, I got this from @TWalkingDWorld on Twitter. And again, I'll leave a link down below to the actual article from New York Post. But yeah, it does say now she's hoping there'll be more Dead City premieres to dress up for down the road. We're definitely set up to go beyond the first season, she says. The TV landscape is a little different and a little more trepidatious than it used to be, but we're really hoping the show does well and can lead to a second and a third and fourth or fifth season. We feel like we've just cracked open the egg. Now we should make an omelet. And hearing that is just, I mean, that's awesome. Because, I mean, first of all, 4 more years from now, I guess the second season would be 2024. So it'd basically be like 2027 the show would go on until. And to me, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm up for all of that. I love these characters. As long as the story's really good, then I'll watch it, right? So I'm definitely really excited about all this. And I do actually like the fact that she said this because, again, it gives me a lot more clarity on sort of what the overall goal here is, like with these shows. And it really does feel like if it were up to Gimple and, you know, some of the people, you know, obviously at The Walking Dead, they would keep this going for as long as they can. It's just sort of up to AMC. Like, will AMC keep going with this, right? And I guess that's sort of where we're at right now. And I guess that's sort of, that's the thing. Like, that's where every television show is at every season. Like, you do a story for a season and you just hope that you'll get another season to be able to write for and continue. And for something like this, it seems like that's exactly what they're doing here. They're hoping to get a second season. I mean, I think we are going to get a second season. And I think if the storytelling is really amazing, really great, then obviously we should get that third or fourth or fifth season. And based off of the trailer for Dead City, based off of how good that looked, you know, just like not even just the story stuff, just like visually, you know, it looked really incredible. And that's something that we really couldn't say about The Walking Dead. And I mean, really ever. Like, there's been a few moments here and there where you can say things like that about the show, but it's been a while. Like, it's been a really long time. And that trailer like absolutely blew everyone away. Like, everyone was just so hyped for it. There's people who didn't even watch the show or even watch The Walking Dead since season 5 or 6 that were like, man, I have to watch this show. It really got an awesome reaction, honestly. And I was surprised by that. And so I just, you know, considering where The Walking Dead is at right now, if they continue this and do this type of storytelling going forward, and you know, we have this as the new standard, then yeah, like I said, I do think we'll get that second, third, fourth, or fifth season of these shows here. Because it makes sense that you would continue it like that, right? Like, it overall does make sense that you would want to continue the story like this in that way. Because I think 5 seasons for Dead City would be incredible. Like, originally, when I first started watching The Walking Dead, I wanted it to go for 5 or 6 seasons. I remember thinking, like, after, you know, the 3rd or 4th season, I was like, maybe you should sort of wrap it up soon. You should get to this, like, this final arc. And again, back then, I wasn't aware of the comic. I only became aware of the comic around, like, season 4 or 5. Maybe 6. It was like around there, season 4 or 5. And so I remember just thinking at that time, like, I would like them to end the story at some point. Like, you can't really continue this forever. Which, I mean, yeah, obviously it's been like years since I was saying that. But I actually disagree with what I was saying back then. Because, you know, my mentality on it back then was that, like, this show is basically going to be a Breaking Bad type show. Like, Breaking Bad was 4 or 5 seasons. And that's the thing, too. You know, like, when you look at Breaking Bad, they did sort of expand it into a universe. Like they made it 4 or 5 seasons, or 5 seasons with the first show, right? And then Better Call Saul had like, I think 6 seasons. They also had that movie that premiered on Netflix. And so they did sort of expand, and they are doing more stuff like that, you know. I know there's no plans for it, you know, as of now, but I imagine they will get into it at some point in the future. And with The Walking Dead, I would say that, you know, it's the same exact thing. The only difference between The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad is like The Walking Dead went on for 11 seasons. Like it went on for a very long time, but I look at it as, you know, they covered the comic. Like they told the comic story in its entirety on that show. And so now I think we can actually get into these shows here where, you know, like the show Dead City or Daryl Dixon or the Rick and Michonne show. These shows can be like Better Call Saul. Like they can easily be like that. Give us 4 to 5, maybe 6 seasons or something like that of each show. And you can sort of branch out and do some really exciting stuff with that. You can have characters from Fear the Walking Dead or other shows appear in these spinoffs. Like there's a lot of stuff that you're able to do here, right? And I just think the first step is to get these shows off the ground. And I believe Gimple is actually saying that too. Like, you know, like there is plans to do other shows or to do other spinoffs or other stories and do some really exciting stuff. But the first thing that he wants to focus on is like get these shows off the ground. And I do think with the way Dead City is looking so far, you know, I think this next phase of The Walking Dead is going to be very, very successful. It's probably going to be the most successful The Walking Dead's been since, I mean, I don't even know what, maybe season 7, 8, around there. The story could honestly be really incredible. Like we'll obviously have to wait and see, but I'm more talking about the hype and the excitement, just the way the show looks and sort of the elements of the show. Like the franchise hasn't looked this great in years. So yeah, if they continue this, I'm all 4 or 5 seasons. And I actually wanted to talk about the Rick and Michonne show as well, because there's been some sort of, you know, back and forth on a lot of things. And I didn't really want to talk or do a sole video on this, but I've been seeing some stuff online where it seems like there is going to be a season 2. Like originally somebody posted something saying, oh, season 1 of this show. And then everyone was like, oh, season 1. So there's going to be a season 2. And then that person corrected it and was like, no, sorry, I shouldn't have mentioned season 1. And everyone right away was like, is he just saying that to sort of like protect himself in that sense? Or, you know, like there was some suspicion there. But then I saw some stuff today, like there was some jackets on set and there's actually, like it said season 1 on it. So it seems like that's sort of the overall premise, is that this is going to be season 1 of, I guess, multiple seasons. I'm not entirely sure how long this is going to go for, but it looks like we're going to for sure get a season 2 for all 3 shows. And we'll just sort of start from there. Like we'll see where everything goes. But as of now, I feel pretty confident in saying that the Rick and Michonne show should get a season 2. I do believe the Daryl Dixon show as well. And then obviously Dead City. I think all 3 shows are going to all get season 2. I just wonder if, you know, the episode count could go up higher, because we're getting 6 episodes right now. Maybe, you know, for season 2, we'll get 8 or 10. I don't think they should ever go back to 16. That is way too much. But I could see doing 10 episodes at the absolute most. Maybe 8 for season 2, and then just sort of, you know, because I think you can do more than 6. I think 6 is a little too short. 8 episodes works. 10 also could work as well. Like I think Last of Us had 9 episodes, actually. Like in that range there for sure. Also, apparently Glenn's death isn't going to be ignored in Dead City. So that's actually really cool to see, because I was a little worried about some aspects to that. I was really worried about them ignoring just a lot of the trauma that happened. And obviously they've sort of already talked about a lot of that, like on The Walking Dead. But there's still some elements to it that like I still want to see. And they've never been able to get into it on The Walking Dead because there was just so much other story. Like you would have to completely take over the entire story with what you can do in terms of the aftermath of Glenn's death, right? Because there's a lot there. Like there's honestly, Glenn's death was such a big moment in the overall story. And I know it's crazy because it's just like this, well, I don't want to say random character, because obviously he's a big character on the show, but like many big characters have died on the show. But it was just different. I don't know. Glenn's death, like just that moment, it really felt like we entered this new phase of The Walking Dead, you know, as soon as he died. And that is something that I do think you can easily explore and you can get into a lot. So I'm interested in seeing how they're going to be exploring that. Apparently it's not going to be ignored. I don't know if it's going to be a big part of the story, but I am interested in seeing how they bring that up and what happens with that. The show is premiering in 3.5 weeks. I really can't believe that. Like, that is so soon. We're going to be seeing all these mutated zombies and everything. I'm so hyped. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it here. Post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.